Remember, generally speaking, there are 3 different types of bleeding. Arterial, which is the worst and the most hard to control, it's under pressure and it gushes. The second is venous bleeding. It's under negative pressure and is more like a running or dripping, but it's usually pretty easy to control as well with direct pressure. And the third type is capillary. We see these most often in incidences where somebody actually scrapes their arm, which is exactly what happened to this guy. So he was running, he tripped and fell. He skinned his arm on the pavement trail, and now we've got some things to think about. First things first though, we have to be careful not to get drawn into the immediate visual of this abrasion. I want to be thinking about other areas of his body first that might be actually life-threatening, like did he hit his head on the ground? Did he hurt his neck? Does he have any fractures? As soon as I've established that he does not feel or have any pain in areas that could be life-threatening, I know that this may not be a 911 call, but more of just how to handle this abrasion. So this is what we're going to do. The first thing first is that we're going to actually debride or clean the wound. As you can see, he's got some dirt in there, he's got a couple rocks. If they're embedded, don't usually try to pick them out yourself. It's a great amount of discomfort to the victim themselves, and it may be something that the urgent care center or hospital will want to do to make sure they get all of it out. But in this case, we're going to start with running water. Just running water over the wound. Brushing it out a little bit. We've got clean gloves on. Getting all that dirt, cleaning some of the excess blood off. As you can see, there's still a little bit of dirt in there. We can keep washing it until we feel confident that we've got it out. You could also use a local drinking fountain if you didn't have bottled water available. I also thought for this topic, I might touch on practical application as well as the ideal situation. You're out at the park, you're hanging out, you might have a couple napkins from the local fast food restaurant. If that's all you have, you could use that to dab the wound, to stop the immediate bleeding, and to get it under control. Ideally though, we have sterile dressings in a first aid kit in the trunk that we can use to kind of debride the wound and keep the wound clean and dry. Once we believe that that is all cleaned up and the bleeding's under control, I start thinking about what size bandage I'm going to need. If we don't have a bandage, it could probably wait till home. Put on some triple antibiotic to stop any type of infection from occurring. Leave it open air, have them be careful with it, and you're probably good to go. But let's say we do have Band-Aids with us. Is it going to be the regular 1x3? Not going to happen. Too big of an abrasion. So I took out my 3x4, which is a perfect size for this size abrasion. It's a non-adhesive, which means it was developed so that it didn't stick to the actual tissue itself. So after I put my triple antibiotic cream, I'm now going to cover it with my sterile dressing. To hold that in place, can you hold that for me? I'm going to rip a couple pieces of medical tape. I'm going to apply one to the top, and I'm going to apply one to the bottom, and bingo, we're all set to get them home and do a little bit better job on the bandaging. Now, some couple points of interest here. You might remember doing like the peroxide cleanse and things like that. We're steering away from those as we're finding out that actually peroxide is a little harsh on tissue. It's better just to take clean water, potable water, clean out the wound, get it to stop bleeding. Very easy with capillary wounds. Bandage it after we put triple antibiotic on it, and you're ready to get back into action.